Mendelssohn happens to be really, if not my favorite composer, what my top 3 composers that ever lived.
The greatest composer of all time. Well, the greatest composer of all time, very hard, but I would probably say Mozart. Possibly a biased opinion because he writes so well for my instrument.
I don't think there's a great composer. I think there are many great composers, and they're the ones that have broken the rules. Where would we be without Bach? But actually, where would we be without Mozart?
Yeah, and Mendelssohn's not bad either.
The thing I love most about the bassoon, I think it's an instrument that's very, very close to the singing voice. So, and I love the fact that I wrap my arms around it, so it, if you like, becomes me.
Okay, the French horn is, of course, the best instrument in the orchestra. I would say that. I know I'm really biased. It can be angry, it can be peaceful, it can be joyous, it can do everything.
But the violin is an instrument that's so closely related to the human voice, and it can span so many different octaves of register. It can sing like the voice, and it can do so many things. I think it's just a very versatile instrument. And this violin is actually quite special. It's a Stradivarius made in 1713, which I've had for 22 years. So I feel very lucky that my parents gave me a violin when I was 4 years old.
The cello, it's a bit like a violin, but of course it's better because it's bigger and more cuddly, and it's got a more mellow, deep sound.
Why do I think the Academy is unique? I think the fact that we don't have a conductor makes it very special.
It's a special orchestra, small orchestra, that plays with me directing from the chair, from the concertmaster chair.
It's so wonderful when we meet our audiences and hear what they're taking from it. And one of the things that they always talk about when they hear the Academy of St Martin in the Fields is the connection, the communication, the joy, the sort of sharedness of what we're doing. This is repertoire that we've done many times before and we know and we love.
My favourite piece on this tour to listen to, probably the Figaro Overture, because the opera, the Marriage of Figaro, is probably my favourite, one of my favourite pieces. And if it wasn't quite challenging to play, I'd probably enjoy that the most.
The symphony, the third symphony, is my personal favorite of all the Mendelssohn symphonies, the Scottish Symphony. Not just because I'm half Scottish on my dad's side, but it's Mendelssohn at his best. It has a dark quality to it.
I think there's something so joyous about the Italian Symphony, Mendelssohn's Italian Symphony. He wrote it, and I was reading actually a few days ago some of the letters that he wrote home when he was actually in Italy and just seeing everything and being so excited, and he said, this is a joyous piece of music.
And then Joshua is playing the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto, and every time he plays that I think, oh well, it couldn't be better. He's plays it so compellingly. I don't think I've ever worked with anyone who is as committed as him. He is an unbelievable amount of energy that he gives, and that's very exciting for us.
You can't imagine a more iconic building to play in, really.
I remember when I was a kid, I remember when it was when the Opera House opened and the photos were in the newspaper all around the world. It's an iconic building, and being absolutely find it just extraordinary.
I think I first came here in 1999, perhaps, and there's no better view from a dressing room than at the Sydney Opera House.